Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SO NWA, the podcast about serving others here in Northwest Arkansas.
That's right, guys. I'm Enrique, and of course, I'm always here with my brother, Juan Carlos. We're both proud natives of Northwest Arkansas, and we're seeing the community grow and evolve firsthand.
Yes, guys. Each episode, we highlight the entrepreneurs, creators, and everyday people who are shaping this area. And we talk about anything from local businesses to real estate to restaurants and hidden gems. We cover it all, guys.
That's right, guys. And we're also local real estate agents helping people buy, sell, and get connected here in NWA.
Yeah. So whether you're new to the area or looking for a good story, you're in the right place.
Absolutely, guys. And if you ever need anything real estate related or just Northwest Arkansas recommendations, you can find us on Instagram at SO NWA Podcast or email us at sonwapodcast@gmail.com.
So let's get into today's episode, guys.
So today on SO NWA Podcast, we're joined by Dr. Matt Howell, owner and optometrist at Eyes on the Square here in downtown Bentonville. Originally from Texarkana, Texas, Dr. Howell fell in love with NWA while attending the U of A. And after earning his doctorate in optometry from Midwestern University of Chicago, he and his family made the Ozarks home once again. Alongside his wife, Katie, Dr. Howell has helped build Eyes on the Square into a locally rooted, relationship-driven eye care, combining advanced technology with a welcoming experience that makes patients feel truly seen and cared for. Their commitment to serving people well has helped the practice earn an impressive 5-star reputation with more than 511 reviews. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. So together, they've created a business centered around community, hospitality, and long-term patient relationships. Dr. Howell is especially passionate about treating dry eye disease, improving quality of life through better vision and eye health, and sharing the good news and hope found in Jesus Christ. Outside the office, he's a husband, a father, outdoor enthusiast, mountain biker, coffee lover, and someone who's deeply invested in serving our NWA community. We're talking about entrepreneurship, building local businesses in Bentonville, modern eye care, faith, family, and journey behind the Eyes on the Square. So everyone give a warm welcome to Matt Howell. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Welcome back.
Yeah,
Thank you. Welcome back.
Enrique, I always have to give kudos to you for doing such a good job in reading those things, man. You do excellent, man.
Well, thank you. I try my best. Sometimes I feel a little guilty just reading the thing, but I try my best.
You're good. Doc, welcome back. Enrique, welcome back. Folks, for the audience who's joining us, we're re-recording. This is part 2 or take 2 of this episode. We recorded a few weeks ago, got home, and then found out that 20 minutes in, something happened. I think the app crashed or the Wi-Fi wasn't working good or something like that. And I don't have the rest of the footage. So we asked for Dr. Howell's presence again, and he's gracious enough to give us his time again, which we appreciate. Yeah. Great story. We got into coffee. We got into dry eyes.
Yes.
We got into how he got his business at Eyes on the Square, and I think it was good. So I'm happy to tell it again. So welcome back.
Yeah, excited to talk about it again.
Yeah.
There you go.
How's everything going this week?
Wonderful. It's great.
Yeah.
Full week of running a business and taking care of a 1-year-old and 2-year-old and my wonderful wife, and just had a great Father's Day and
yes.
Yeah, just loving it. It's summer in Northwest Arkansas.
My son just started crawling like 2 weeks ago. And it's awesome. I'm tired. It's tiring. Yeah.
My 1-year-old took his first official steps last night. So he's not walking yet, but he got 7 or 8 steps in a row. We were screaming. Our neighbors probably thought something was wrong. We were screaming. He's been so stubborn about not walking. And so huge victory. That's developing this week. So, kids are incredible.
It is. It's so cool to see. His legs all red and kind of bruised or whatever because he does the drag crawl.
Yeah.
One is
the Lieutenant Dan,
That's
what we called it.
Exactly. So he's been good. Yeah. He's and also his wake window went to 5 hours now.
Okay.
4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
And it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So So welcome. Enrique, how are you, man? What's
good? Doing good, man. Doing our best to stay busy.
Yeah. You for the audience here, you missed our previous episode with Ben Green. A good episode. It comes out very soon. So, but we missed you, but we're glad you're back.
Yeah, I was feeling under the weather. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I didn't want to get nobody else sick. And so I thought, oh man, I can't give justice to the client. I'd be, I think, doing a disservice to the guest and you as well. And so I figured it better to get better.
Cool. Welcome back.
And for you, what about you? How are things with you, man?
Things are good. Had my first, Father's Day this past week, and
Congrats.
it was nice. I woke up to donuts. Thank you, honey.
Nice.
Thank you. Yeah.
Nice. I also got donuts.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I woke up and immediately had a maple bar. That made me pretty happy.
That's
so
right. Nice.
my wife's great. My son and wife were really good. Yeah, it's just trucking along summer. Everything's going well. With work and real estate, I think things are going good. We can always be more busy. That's nice to be more busy. That's a good problem to have. So I'm willing to take it. So yeah, but everything's going good. So
It's a great sign.
Yeah.
Very good.
So, Doc, something we do here on the episode is we do the rapid fire questions. So, let's go. Your coffee order. What is it?
Absolutely. Black filter coffee. If the coffee shop has the option, single origin. If I know the coffee shop and they can do a pour over, I'll love it. I'll get a fun pour over. If I'm not so sure about that and they have a single origin batch, that's my favorite.
Okay.
So those who know, you understand, a well done single origin batch brew is just pinnacle of filter coffee for me. Ceramic mug if we can.
Okay.
It all matters. Every detail.
I'm telling you, from our previous conversation, I've definitely been more willing to learn more, have a separate conversation about coffee.
But when you go to Onyx, go Barista's Choice drip. It's cheaper than a latte.
Okay.
You can really get to experience a wide variety of single origin flavors. It's enjoyable.
Okay. Okay. One thing people should stop doing to their eyes immediately.
Yeah, I'll repeat what I said last time. Using Visine.
Visine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Visine, Clear Eyes, any of those redness relief, anything that says redness reliever other than Lumify. Lumify is the one it's got a different mechanism of action. It's safer.
Okay.
But the Visine, the Clear Eyes, the Equate redness reliever, Roto redness reliever, all those drops honestly make your inflammation worse. They just temporarily whiten the eyes through a not so great mechanism, and then 4 hours later the inflammation rushes back worse than before, and people overuse them and it conflates issues. Stop using the Visine.
Okay. Dream vacation spot. Where are we going?
If it's with dream vacation spot, it's going to be with my family, which means my lovely wife has a large deciding factor in where we're going. So it's going to be somewhere relaxing. Gosh, if I won the lottery, Maldives, Bora Bora, somewhere like that.
That's nice.
Love to get some scuba diving in. If it's a guy's trip, me and my boys, somewhere mountainous, trying to do something very strenuous, difficult, surviving in rugged terrain for a long period.
We're doing like a cabin.
Cabin, backpacking, overlanding trip. Something intense. The opposite of everything my wife wants in a vacation, which is to sit and relax. I want to push my body and survival to the limits. So.
Man, I like that.
I think Matt's gonna build the actual cabin himself.
Yeah, I like those videos, those YouTube videos. Those guys like building things in the woods.
Yeah, it's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, primitive survival stuff.
Best advice for young entrepreneurs, or one piece of really good advice for young entrepreneurs?
That's a great question. As a Christian, the number one thing that I credit to any sort of success that I have is entirely the Lord. And so just prayer, dependence on him, and knowing his word, which is to do all things with excellence and integrity. And even for folks that don't know the Lord, those same principles as being excellent in all that you do, utmost integrity, have your client's best interest, in my case, patient, find decisions where both the business and the customer and the staff mutually benefit. Yeah. And stick to that. Don't compromise. I think with inflation and just the cost of living, it's easy to do this race to the bottom, the cheapest, highest volume, whatever your business is in. And there's certainly a place for that. And praise the Lord for the people that do it, because I partake in those places when I'm trying to save money. But at least my flavor of business and the way I've done things is just try to be the absolute best and highest quality, and don't cut corners, don't compromise. And thankfully people still appreciate that. Bentonville especially really cares, and in a world that's increasingly fake and AI generated, some high quality, good customer service is about the best darn thing you can sell to folks.
Old school, traditional, for sure.
Just don't compromise.
Don't compromise.
That's
good. That's
and
really
don't go
good.
into crazy debt. Too much debt will cripple most businesses. So.
Let's see. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird for me all day. Again, opposite of my lovely wife, but 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. when the house is quiet and I'm sipping my coffee, drinking, reading the word is best time of the day. So.
Okay. Last one, contacts or glasses?
Personally, glasses. I think they're fun. I like good frames. I wore contacts from age 6 to 26
Mm-hmm.
until I developed some really serious dry eye myself, which is how I got into it. So I had to stop, and finally fell in love with glasses once I learned how to make them right and learn the optical skills to actually fit myself properly in a pair of glasses that look good and cut good lenses. So well-made glasses. But contacts are great for mountain biking and such.
I need to get some for sure.
Yeah. Are there risks associated with using contact
Absolutely.
lenses?
Yeah. They decrease oxygen of the cornea, and they kind of bacteria will get stuck on it. Or normally, if bacteria gets in the eye, you blink it and tear it away. Contacts change that equation where they block some oxygen and can trap bacteria. So your risks of an infection go way up. So all the tech in modern contacts is primarily to mitigate those risks, and all the rules around contacts, don't sleep in them, replace them whenever they're supposed to be, is not for me to sell more contacts. It's to mitigate those risks.
Right.
Yeah.
Modern contacts, in the right person, worn responsibly, the risk is low. But yeah, totally does.
Okay.
Cool to know.
My wife wears contacts every day, and she likes it. Yeah. And I like her with glasses.
Yeah.
I understand there's like if we're going out somewhere and, you don't want to, maybe your glasses to fall off,
sure.
You throw some contacts on, and, I get that too.
Yeah, there's so many places for it. And especially people with more complex, higher prescriptions, the optics through glasses, are just not as wonderful as they are through contacts.
I can see that too. Yeah. Look like, big old.
Yeah, mountain biking and thick, heavy glasses bouncing all over your face, doesn't play out very well.
That's true.
Right.
Well, Doc, let's get into main discussion.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got here today,
sure.
and what's your connection with Northwest Arkansas.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Matt Howell is my name. I was born and raised in Texarkana, Texas. Grew up a Razorback fan. My dad went to law school at the U of A. So grew up, calling the hogs and coming up to Northwest Arkansas for game days, occasionally. And so I ended up going to the University of Arkansas for undergrad, which is, I lived in Fayetteville anyway for 4 years, which is how I fell in love with the Ozarks. And, Texarkana was great, but I like the outdoors, and that's flat redbud and pine trees is all Northeast Texas has to offer, and more mosquitoes in here, and this is beautiful and different.
Yes,
and to me, Northwest Arkansas is a big city for me compared to Texarkana, so I was drawn to that, and met my wife Catherine at the U of A in 2013 is when we started dating, and then when I graduated optometry school, I did a brief year in Kansas City for her to finish her dental hygiene school, and then we moved to Chicago for 4 years when I went to the Chicago College of Optometry. I was the inaugural class up there. That was crazy. And then at the end of that period, it was kind of we had to decide where we wanted to move, and my in-laws had moved to Beaufort, South Carolina, and during the craziness of COVID, that initial 6-month period, we quarantined with them over there because we had to get out of Illinois. Was nuts. We had to get out of there.
Got it.
And fell in love with the area. The Low Country is just stunning. I don't know if y'all have ever been before. Hilton Head Island, Beaufort. It's just hard to describe how storybook picturesque, the moss hanging over the trees, the way of life. It's just it's stunning. We fell in love with it, and we. For about a year, we're praying, do we want to move here? Do we want to move to Northwest Arkansas? And ultimately decided Northwest Arkansas just because of it sounds corny, but the entrepreneurial energy is just crazy. We knew we wanted to open up a practice as soon as the Lord would open the opportunity to do it. And don't get me wrong, it would have been easier probably, market-wise in South Carolina. It's a small town. There's only one other optometrist there.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't help but feel excited and invigorated by the idea of business here every time we visit. It's just, people are doing incredible things with businesses, and they're trying out wild concepts, and it's not your, cookie cutter, just safe small business. And the Lord blessed my wife and I both with minds that like to try, interesting things. And again, we had that conviction to do things really excellent, and we felt like Bentonville would support that more than Beaufort, South Carolina. And
I can see that, yeah.
And my obsession with coffee was pretty strong at that point by then, and the outdoors. And I'd gotten into mountain biking in 2012, 2013, and so there was just enough drawback here. And my family's still in Texarkana. My wife's got some family in Jonesboro, so this is a great spot.
Good middle spot.
Yeah, that's
good middle
true.
spot, and it's been the right decision for sure.
The shout out to the Walton Foundation and everything that they do, because they really pump and they encourage a lot of entrepreneurship in this area. If you don't know, I mean, they do a lot of I don't say like investing. I mean, I guess they see time and energy and all these things, right? For people to bring those ideas here. And man, we see it all the time. It's some really good stuff in this area. For sure.
It's a cool blend of, there's a lot that the Walton family directly has their hands in that is, makes a really cool environment. But I think they've done a good job of creating an area that's attractive to people that, even separate from the Walton family, like myself, want to bring in really quality, unique businesses, right? Like,
that's a good point too, yes.
You know, I don't have any involvement with the Walton family or, no investment from them or anything of that nature. But because of what they've poured into the area and this kind of standard they've been setting of just cool, I would say disproportionately nice infrastructure and businesses for the size of the area.
Absolutely.
Folks like myself who want to also build nice businesses are encouraged to come here. So
we benefit from it. I mean, it is nice. So yeah, I can see that. And then your coffee love. Yes.
Coffee love.
Coffee love, man.
Coffee love is it's strong.
Yeah. Wasn't it was it Onyx, right? They were rated the #1 coffee in
that's
the world, or was it just America?
No, in the world. Even when I lived in Chicago, when I would I got to know the baristas at my local coffee shops because I spent a lot of time there studying. And, when I tell them I was moving here, it's like, that's where Onyx is. Are you kidding me? You're moving. You're going to be near like the HQ of Onyx. Yeah. In Chicago, they blown away.
Really?
If you know coffee, you know Onyx, no matter where you are.
What's interesting, I remember a few years ago I was in Dallas and I popped into a local coffee shop to just grab my drink.
Yeah.
And I remember just walking in, going to the counter, turned around, and there's like a shelf full of Onyx stuff.
No way.
And I was like, oh, hey, you guys carry Onyx? And they're like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm from I live in Bentonville or, live very close to Bentonville. Like, we love Onyx, And they're like, yeah, it's really good. It's good stuff. And this is what we use and everything. I was like, oh, but I didn't know at the time that Onyx was like that well known. Like I just,
really? Sure.
Yeah, I wasn't into the coffee scene. I didn't really know. So to see them, I was like, wow, maybe the coffee owner just went to Bentonville and saw how cool and delicious Onyx was that they brought it back to their shop or whatever. But I mean, if you're saying that, I would say, man, they've been on the map for a while.
They have been. Yeah.
Oh no, I wouldn't.
No, our region's got a surprising number of #1s in different categories. Whether it's your grocery store or chicken or
true.
coffee and mountain biking and. I mean, even smaller niche things like
what's a good
custom 2011 handguns, best in the entire world, are made in just outside of Eureka Springs, and just all kinds of like crazy. Again, the entrepreneurs that are in this area are just top tier.
It's just a thriving community in different aspects, and that is definitely one of my favorite things about this area because you're just surprised by all the things that these people get to do, and it almost seems like it's a good place to. Build what you like your hobby, but then everyone gets to benefit from it.
For sure.
In that sense. And that is definitely one of my favorite things.
Way to put it.
Yeah. Like they don't have to, but they want to.
That's right.
And they get the chance to probably from some support from other things. Yeah.
Most of the time when I see like a small entrepreneur or a small business owner, it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, if they have good marketing, the community's going to pop out and support them no matter what. Yeah, and I think that's a unique characteristic of our environment that we're in.
Yeah.
I mean, eyes on the square. I mean, for example, this one person opened up, what is it? I think it was like a matcha coffee bar mix or whatever.
Yeah.
And we've gone, me and my fiance, and every time we've gone, it's always full.
Yeah.
And they've been open for, I think, like 2-3 months now. And the community's out there supporting them.
It's caffeine bar right off.
Yeah, caffeine bar.
Across Chick-fil-A.
Yes. Caffeine bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, man, that's pretty neat.
It is great. I love it. It's fun.
We talked about Eyes on the Square. It's so funny because, like I said, we spoke about this last time, but, you have your practice at Eyes on the Square in downtown Bentonville.
We do.
Tell us the history. Tell us the story of how you were able to acquire that location and how you came about it and just everything. I mean, I go there for the audience here. My wife and I, we go to Eyes on the Square. We've had a great experience there. I think when we started going there, it was maybe your first or second year that you guys were open. And I mean, I remember just walking one day at First Friday and we were looking for a clinic and I said, honey, why don't we go here? Let's just, it's in downtown.
It's there.
It's there. It's convenient, it looks, and it looks nice. And sure enough, that's been our spot ever since. And I have my appointment in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Yeah. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah. So graduated optometry school in 2021. My wife and I had been dreaming since I went to optometry school of the idea of owning our own business. I grew up with my dad owning his own business. Every person in her entire family on both sides all own their own business without exception. There's not a single employed person on either side of her family.
No pressure.
No pressure. And so I think we were both just raised to think that way, right? No pressure. No one ever talked about like you're expected to. It's just we saw the benefits, and again, the Lord kind of gifted us with minds to when we go places, we would see areas that we can improve. Like, oh, if we bought this, we do the X, Y, and Z, and we're both very detail oriented, and had a strong conviction to do things with excellence. And unfortunately, in a lot of ways, I feel like that's hard to do as an employed optometrist in a lot of clinics, especially as a new grad, just because it's a competitive market, and if you get hired and you just do what you're told, right? And don't get it, and so it was a desire, but we figured it would be 5-10 years of me working for someone else before there would be an opportunity where we could start up our own. And so we had just the fourth year of optometry school, we're just kind of praying for the Lord to guide where we were going to move and who I was going to end up getting to work for and all that. And when we would visit, trying to figure out if we were going to move here, we would spend a lot of time on the Bentonville Square and just fell in love with the square and downtown and the quality and the environment and so we really at the same time kind of came to the conviction, okay, the square is where we're going to open our business one day. We're just going to be praying, Lord, when you want us to be on the square, open an opportunity. And we had looked at the market, what was available, commercial spaces for lease, and the price just was too high to rent for what we want to do is like a lean cold start. Right? It just didn't make sense, and we just couldn't pull it off. But one time my wife was down here visiting family for a birthday or something. I was still in school, and she and her mom were walking downtown, and just out of the corner of her eye through kind of a grimy window with some old blinds closed, saw a for rent by owner sign at 107 South Main Street, and with a phone number on it. And so, she called it, and it wasn't listed online, on LoopNet, which is where the commercial Zillow, essentially. And long story short, it's this sweet older couple that have owned that building for decades. He used to work in it, and he's been renting it out, and they couldn't offer us any tenant improvement allowance, which is, typical commercial spaces. When you sign on a lease, they give you X money to do renovations, to put your own space in there. He said, like, hey, I there's no tenant improvement allowance, but I'll give you a good deal on the rent. And so we, through that process of, prayer, figured out the name, Eyes on the Square. I'll give my mother-in-law credit for that one. And we're like, well, we're going to lock ourselves into the square. Like, we might as well commit to this space for a extended period of time.
Yeah.
The maths with the low rent over time. We'll just, borrow more up front for the space. And so before I graduated school, we'd signed on the space.
That's
amazing. So we moved here in May of 2021 and got to work with, architects and permits and contractor. So it was we gutted the whole entire space just to the walls, absolutely nothing left.
Oh, wow.
And my wife and I kind of designed the build out ourselves. And it was so fun. So sketchy at many times because we're like, are we making the right calls? Like, can somebody please help us? But looking back, the Lord's hand was just in every bit of it. And so opened in March of 2022, after 3 months of permitting delays. I was
going to ask, what I'm curious just a touch on that process of
sure
if it was annoying or delayed or just
the construction process went pretty well. Plenty of surprises. It's a 118-year-old building, so lots of surprises. Learned lots of things. It all went well, other than those who know that Bentonville has different fire marshals, and one of them is notorious for being very picky. And
I see.
He was assigned to our building, and because of things that he saw and thought were important. We were delayed about 3 months.
I see.
But that's okay. Again, the Lord's timing's perfect. Open March of 22, and it has been a awesome roller coaster ever since. It's been so
exciting.
good.
So from signing the lease to opening, how long was it? It seems like maybe a year,
I think,
more or less.
Let's see, Matt. I think we signed the lease, I want to say it was like March of 21, moved here in March or April of 21, moved here in May of 21. We were initial open date was going to be November of 21, and then December, and then January, and then February, and then March 1st is when we eventually got open. And it was just myself, and I had one optician, and that was it, just the two of us. I was a receptionist. I would check people out. I did my own teching, everything. And my wife was working full time at Mint Dental in Centerton. Shout out Mint, wonderful dental practice. And also amazing entrepreneur. If you need to talk to Dr. McCord. To him, owning a business, I think, and I think he probably would be fine with me saying this, is just a means to get to, essentially charity dental work, giving away services to those in need, which is like and he's pursuing that so impressively. So y'all should get him on.
Okay.
Anyway, my wife was working full time there, and then we'd close, at 5, and she'd get off at like 7. I'd still be there, and every night she'd come over, and I mean, that was just, it was our baby for years. Like we would just she would do 3 12-hour shifts at Mint. And then on the days that she wasn't working, she was working as my other receptionist or optician and just grinding. And it was awesome. It was so fun to just work so hard and pour into something and it be ours, in a sense, and see the fruit of that, and the Lord bless it. And, just we've steadily grown ever since. It's been awesome. So eventually she left Mint. Retired is what we called it, with the intent of becoming a mom, which has been her ultimate dream and goal. And the Lord blessed us with children in 2023. And so she was full time with us kind of between leaving Mint and for a couple months before, until like second trimester of her pregnancy, and then stayed home. And now she's home with our 2 kids all the time. And that's amazing. We're fully staffed.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been wonderful.
That's cool. Yeah.
It's incredible, the opportunities that happen when, you put in those hours and you're grinding and you're taking the risk, essentially, right? Because you were still in school when it happened.
Totally, yeah.
And so, it ended up working out in your favor. And of course, I think the Lord saw your hard work and was able to bless you guys.
He totally did. And what we would say that people are like, you're crazy. Don't you want to go, X, Y, and Z first? Like, look, our risk tolerance is the highest it's ever going to be for the rest of our life right now, until we're in our 60s maybe, right?
Yes.
We don't have kids, at the moment. The risk tolerance only goes down over time. So let's get into it now. It's kind of the idea.
That's something I talked to my siblings about. I said, man, as you get older, it is a little bit harder. I'm not saying it's, to not, but it is just harder to maybe do a reset, to go out and, buy something that's crazy. I don't know, go into, it is harder. It's a little bit more.
We didn't know if it was going to work. We didn't know how many years it would be before I even took home $1, from the practice, and was planning, it was going to be moonlighting at other offices on the weekends. And so, I've seen some amazing eye docs out there and that cold start with little kids, and God bless them, and they do it. But for me, I just can't imagine. I'm grateful I'm not in that position now with 2 littles. I want to provide stability for them. The cold start was not a stable period of time.
I get it. No, 100%, man. Man, that's exciting. You just hearing that story again, I'm like, dude, the square is like prime location.
And back then, before all the construction was, the farmers market was on South Main, right in front of us.
It was. I remember.
Downtown Bentonville, amazing. Shout out Downtown Bentonville. Allowed us to, have the space right in front of our store. And so we were open on Saturdays initially for the first year and a half. And so every farmers market, we were there with the booth, giving out water, directing people in the store. First Fridays, we were always there. And so, that was why the high price of Downtown Bentonville, the square, was worth it to us, as all these events and the infrastructure. And it worked. Bentonville showed up.
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine now.
Yeah. So talk to us a little bit. I know in the previous episode for our audience, you talked about how your practice is maybe a little bit different from, I guess, the traditional way of other eye clinics. So I kind of wanted to touch on that. Maybe let our audience know how it's different. What do you do that's maybe more beneficial to a client in that way?
Absolutely.
We can,
Yeah. So on the eye doctor, the medical side of things, I have a holistic view of medicine. that's what separates me from what I'm going to categorize as like traditional modern Western medicine, right? This is kind of, you'll hear modern medicine, Western medicine, Western medicine, modern medical training largely focuses on reacting to a problem in a specific organ and fixing that isolated problem in that isolated organ. And while that can, there's lots of success there, the truth is that we are not just one organ, and all of our organs are intertwined. We are a whole person. They all interact with each other, and any disease in one spot comes about from other places in the body, affects other places in the body. The treatments of one organ system or problem impact elsewhere. Every drug or surgery has implications throughout the entire body. And so taking a holistic viewpoint, even when just simply reacting and treating, is very different and can be really refreshing, because I think a lot of folks are not used to that. And then I also take that further and try to have a preventative view of, again, holistic, but I'm trying to teach people with healthy eyes how to optimize and wellness and be preventative. And again, holistic, I take the lifestyle into it, and I spend a lot of time coaching people on their lifestyle, on their nutrition, and their environment. And a term I use a lot, and I won't even say overused because it's so applicable, is I'm very root cause focused. Not how can we treat this inflammation that you have. What is the root of the inflammation? Why do you have it? And how can we prevent this? And how can we treat the root? What can we modify? I believe the Lord made our bodies incredibly, and I believe that a large percentage of modern medical issues stem from the modern lifestyle. I've kind of, I don't want to say coined a term, but a term I found myself using that I think I came up with is just the toxic sludge of modernity, right? Modern living, whether that's our workplaces, artificial, ingredients in our food, lack of certain, exercises, toxins, you name it, right? People may throw the label, I'm crunchy, right? That's the term that I'll use, right? I have a functional mindset. So, while I'm not throwing out herbs and tinctures and, telling people to modify their energy, that's not necessarily my flavor. I am having serious discussions on people's diet and how they live their life and modifications there. And, for first line treatments that I'll tell people, this is what the textbook, says is the treatment here. I will tell you, it will also cause X, Y, and Z side effects. This is the fast, here's a pill to solve your problem this week. But if we take this route, it's going to take some more work and some time, but it's going to set you up for the long-term success. And so, I'm unique, at least in our area, in that regard. It's a pretty, it's an uncommon approach in medicine, especially eye care. So, it's a joy to get to share that perspective with people.
Right.
Yeah.
How do people react to that approach? Because I'm guessing they probably go in thinking it's like a traditional eye clinic, and then you go into it.
Yeah. Do you say something up front?
On the website and on like the Google Read, it'll say holistic modern eye care.
Okay.
And so a lot of people don't know what that means. The great thing is that there is a trending in that direction just in our culture right now. There is an awakening. Who you want to attribute that to, that's up to you. But people are becoming aware. And so I would say the majority of my patients, when I give that approach, yes, they're surprised. A lot of them are thrilled, right? A lot of our business is word of mouth. And so folks in the crunchy community do love to come to me, right? So I've got a lot of folks that come their way. And my sweet wife is a heavy commenter on different Facebook groups, right? So I'll get folks that way. But then I have plenty of people that are busy, and that's not their flavor of medicine. They weren't raised that way. They don't believe in it. And I will always offer both sides. I'll tell people, here's, this kind of the holistic, maybe functional approach. And, but you also have these options, and I'll let you decide. I tell everyone I'm a consultant. I don't tell you what to do. And a lot of them say, no. Like I'm going golfing this weekend. Give me the drops, call it in. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like here are the potential side effects. Here's how to use it. I'll see you back in a week. Be sure you didn't have a, reaction to it. And so, I don't force anyone upon anything. Most of the reactions are positive. Some people will leave in tears because I'm the first person that's kind of given them any sort of has listened to them and explained, a connection. A lot of times I find myself telling people, hey, this is outside of my wheelhouse, but you might want to investigate these connections because I hear you've got this health issue going on and this health issue and this one, and it's bubbling up in the eyes here. And so it's a really fun, opportunity to get to, for the Lord to use me in people's total healthcare, journey. So.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, to hear like a different, I was going to say solution, like you go in to get your eyes checked and they say this, and this, and now you're saying, hey, well, let's talk about your diet. Let's talk about your health and different habits you may have. And to have somebody, because I think I'll say for me, you'd be like, oh, I call everyone a doc, like chiropractor's a doc. If you have doctor in front of your friend, say, what's up, doc? But maybe you just don't expect to hear that from your eye doctor. I need to go to my regular doctor. But I think if they're knowledgeable and they have some, I guess, knowledge, why not take their, you say like opinion or advice and see if that works, I would.
Yeah, I feel a burden and a responsibility to do it. I mean, the Lord's given me the knowledge of a lot of these things. And, the Lord has orchestrated their path and mine to cross. And, I feel like I'm not doing my job right if I know something that could impact the rest of their body and their whole their health, to not. And so that's why we have such 30-minute appointment times, is because I talk a lot. There's a tremendous amount of education going on there, and I do like to talk, and so hence why I'm back on this podcast second time. So you've got that, which is awesome. And then I'd say the other thing that differentiates Eyes on the Square from your usual eye care experience is in our optical. Our frame selection is very intentionally unique. It's curated to be things that you probably have not ever seen in any clinic you've gone or any optical you've been into. Some of them you might have, but there's one frame manufacturer that owns about 80% of the market, and we don't carry any of their brands.
Okay.
And so we have a heavy emphasis on small, independent, quality frame manufacturers. A lot of them are family owned, daughter runs it now, her dad started it, passed down for generations. We really try to bring an emphasis on, if you're spending, every dollar you're spending on a frame has nothing to do with the name, and it's all to do with the design, the quality, the craftsmanship. And so a lot of people are really refreshed to not have to leave and go find something online, because every other eye doctor they've been to has the same brands, and that I'm not going to rattle off any, but and so that's fun too. We can be really, it's fun to be proud of what you're selling, and stand behind it. And so the unique frame selection is also a good one, and we try to have like a white glove experience. And so
very cool.
I do feel that way when I we'll have to go check it out. Just pop in.
Come on down. We've got a trunk show going on right now. We've got one of our coolest lines, Dita, is in right now. The reps in brought their whole collection. We've got some some charcuterie board and snacks out and drinks, and so we've sent out some marketing to our customers, and so we try to do really bring in frames and unique things that people have not seen. So,
no, it does feel that way when you walk in there. It feels nice, open. I say like organized and clean, and it just feels refreshing, and it feels like I'm going to get a good service here, for my eyes.
I think first impressions are important. I think you guys, based on what you're saying and what you're telling me, I think you guys got it locked in. And
it's a good thing.
That's the goal. That's what we're trying to be, a little bit better at that every single week, so
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I think even just having the different approach to it and the way you do your practices is already engaging. I find that interesting, especially the holistic approach. Because you're looking at the root cause, which I want to say, I guess 90% of people probably, if I had to guess, probably don't do it that way.
I would agree.
And so I think it's important to kind of view it in a different perspective and be open-minded.
Absolutely.
And I think that's super important, bringing that value.
Yeah, no, 100%. Doc, let's talk about some eye health problems. Something that we see more, that you see more here.
Sure.
What are some common problems you see, and maybe some solutions that people can
Totally.
that you give?
Yeah, I would say the most prolific is dry eye. Right. dry eye is my passion, so I try to rein in a little bit. I don't want to talk too much, but what I'll preface is that there's lots of different causes of dry eye, right? There's probably 100 different things that can contribute to it. Mm-hmm. There's 3 main types or buckets of dry eye, whether your tears are evaporating too fast, or you don't have enough tears, or it's inflammation. Those are kind of the 3 buckets. Mm-hmm. And I might see one person a week that doesn't have at least one of those. That doesn't always mean they're symptomatic. Mm-hmm. Everyone's corneal nerves feel differently, but it is as prolific. I've tried to find something to compare it to. It's as prolific as acne, right? Like, as everyone has some clogged pores and has dealt with acne on and off throughout their life. And dry eye is very similar. I would argue that it's that prevalent. Again, not everyone has this feels it, mm-hmm. but I see it when mm-hmm. I'm looking under the microscope at their eyes. And so, and that's another one that, much like acne, I strongly believe it's the modern life. Mm-hmm. All the things that man has done to change from the Lord's perfect creation has kind of led us there. Mm-hmm. Largely dietarily, I believe. Lack of nutrients and an introduction of lots of toxins, endocrine disrupting chemicals, hormones, the products that we use, and then just the general health, of folks. But so dry eye is a huge one. I think one of the largest drivers is that most Americans are not getting enough omega-3 fatty acids, mm-hmm. fish oil in their diet. We're getting way too many omega-6 fatty acids, which is, omega-6s are good and omega-3s are good, but when the ratio is off, too many 6s, too low 3s, you get in this inflammatory state, and it messes with the oils in the sebaceous glands. And so we've got these oil glands in the eyelids that are called meibomian glands that run up and down. And that oil that should be healthy and flowing to make the tears thick and prevent the tears from evaporating, almost every person I see has a degree of clogging of these oil glands. And so their tears are thinner than they should be, and they evaporate too quickly between blinks. And when we stare at computer screens all day, how frequently we're blinking, our blink rate is cut down by about 2/3. And so it's more time for the tears to evaporate. And every time your tears evaporate, you have this inflammatory response. And so everyone's eyes are dry and red. And so that is a massive one. And that you can probably imagine, this opens up the door to diet and lifestyle modification to me all day, every day, right? Mm-hmm. And so I do a lot of dry eye consultations and a lot of dry eye treating, and so that's the one that I dealt with personally severely for years, that couldn't get answers to, and through just trying to get some relief for myself is how I acquired a lot of this extra dry eye knowledge that wasn't necessarily taught in school.
Interesting. So, as you kept talking about dry eyes, I was like, I think I have dry eyes. Yeah, seriously.
I started it's a safe bet, right?
Yeah, you start thinking about it. I feel that way. I was like, should I be, when I close my eyes, does that feel like relief? I'm like, oh, man, sure. I think he's right.
Yeah. And so people are like, oh, should I use eye drops? And, eye drops can give you relief, but they're not curing a darn thing, right? They're not solving a problem. And so I spend a lot of my time trying to teach people, how can we get as close to the root of treating this as possible? Instead of throwing artificial tears onto the eyes, how can we restore your body's natural ability to produce healthy tears, right? That's the goal. So dry eye is a huge one. Eye strain is another massive one, right? Like, it's not the computers, it's not the screens, it's not the blue light as much as everyone would love to shake a fist at. It's the near objects, right? I joke, you could stare at a stone tablet for 8 hours a day and your eyes would feel just as tired and strained, as they are. And so, again, just kind of educating people on ways to cut down on that. About 60% of my patients work for Walmart corporate. So, they're all staring at their screens all day long, right? And so, there's a tremendous amount of strain going on.
Man, I can definitely see that. Phones, screens.
Oh yeah, we're just looking at stuff up close. Leave home to finally take a break from looking at our medium-sized screen to go look at our small screen and scroll it for a while to finally relax and look at the big screen. And when we lay down on the couch, we're just
guilty.
Yeah, that's modern life, right?
Yeah,
so,
that is.
Well, what are like some subtle, I guess, symptoms that wouldn't be too obvious? Like, let's say somebody's feeling like this symptom, but they're not really aware of it until they kind of speak to you. What would be some of those things?
Contact lens intolerance is one of the big ones. People that wear contacts, but say, they start feeling bad after like 8 hours of use or whatever. That's a classic sign of, hey, your tear film is poor, your eyes are drying out. Or folks will tell me that they just feel really tired, or they're blinking a lot, or rubbing their eyes in the day. I mean, that could be eye fatigue, eye strain, dry eye, or obviously red eyes is one that people just think, I have allergies, or I work in my patients that are working in, say, dustier environments. So they'll just attribute it to that. But actually, believe it or not, your eyes are really well equipped to handle dusty environments. The Lord made us that way, but your tear film is so poor because of your dry eye disease that your eye actually isn't dealing with the the dusty environment that you work in, and that's why you're having all these strong reactions to allergens. It's not that your allergy load is disproportionately high, but your tear film isn't actually buffering the allergens getting in the eye and flushing it out. So, there's a lot of, again, having that holistic approach. Don't treat the symptom, treat the cause. There's a lot of things like that, where people will be having like intermittent blur at near, or having to, wanting to take their glasses off a lot. And turns out they've been overcorrected. Their prescription is way too high. And again, one of the kind of holistic, kind of functional bends that I have is I try to always prescribe the lowest tolerable prescription anyone can possibly have, instead of just cranking up the power every year, because they said, that number 2 is sharper than number 1, which feels good in the moment during the better 1 or 2 thing. It's more bold, more crisp. They go home, they get these new glasses, and they go and work. And by the end of the day, their eyes are so tired. Their eye muscle's good. Their eye health is good. Maybe they don't even have dry eye, but they're overcorrected by 0.5 or 0.75 because, that's, it's very easy to do for any eye doctor to, if the patient says they like number 2 better, I'll push back. I'll say, but is it just bolder or is it actually sharper? And try to find out, or I'll take them outside of the big device with the lenses. It's called a 4-opter. Pull it away and do some loose lenses and say, how about here? And try to find the lowest possible prescription, because I want them to be comfortable and not strained, not just have the most perfect, crisp HD 4K vision. Yes, that's the goal, but our bodies are amazing and they adapt to being overcorrected. And you can kind of get stuck in this state, and it's easy to overprescribe. In school we call it eating up minus. For nearsighted folks, you can it always looks sharper to give you another click of minus. My prescription's worse every year, and maybe it is. Sometimes it is. Again, I'm pushing back on that.
Man, the last time it's been 2 years since I've been checked, and I remember, you are correct. When I saw that, whatever number it was nice and crisp.
Sure.
I said, man, I want that. But I didn't think I think we said that I didn't need it. It was just more of,
don't ask me. I don't know. My memory's not that good.
Yeah. I was like, no, I remember I was like, should I get it? It's like, I don't think you need them, but it does help. Sure. But yeah, because I still have really good vision. But man, I just remember seeing the difference, and I couldn't believe it, because I really think I have good vision.
Sure.
But just to see the crisp and boldness and the lines, like from a distance, you're like, oh, okay, I can really,
Sure. Practice consultants would say that I'm a terrible salesman. All the private practice, webinars are all about selling from the chair, and don't get me wrong, I will. But I probably tell more people than most consultants would recommend. Like, your prescription didn't really change enough. Like, you're fine. Like, I tell people all the time, I'm shooting for 20 happy, not 20/20. Obviously, when we mesh them together, that's the goal. But plenty of every person's different.
Yes.
It's more of an art than a science sometimes. So.
I can see that. Yeah, that's definitely a unique, like, individualized.
Right. What are your visual needs? What are you doing?
Yeah.
If you're knitting all day in retirement, like, I'm going to crank up that power probably higher than most. But if you're a 6'8" dude with, arms out to here, the standard reading distance of 16 inches is going to feel wrong for you. So just, trying to customize, personalized eye care is the idea. So,
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. So, Doc, you mentioned, and at least for me, I think it's interesting, because I think it's important to always bring your partner and your wife or whoever that significant other into your life. Talk to us a little bit about how was it building that, the business with your wife, and what were maybe, I guess, some benefits and also some challenges that came along with that?
It was incredible. And sure, we had some minor disagreements here and there, but when I married my wife, we got married in 2016, built out the practice in 2021, right? We'd been married for 5 years at that point. I knew her quite well, but gosh, getting to see this other entrepreneurial, creative side of her just unlocked and run free was great. It was just so cool. It was amazing. So I knew she was smart, but it was intimidating. She's wildly intelligent. So just getting to collaborate. And again, the Lord blessed us with very similar minds. We're both type 1, type A, whatever your personality test. And so it worked incredibly well. And we just had so much fun getting to create and do things. And in that season, just with that now having kids, it seems so foreign being able to, the amount of time we put into it, but those were our only obligations where, she had her full-time job and I was doing this full-time. I did in the meantime, I tried to find a job elsewhere, but the market was so rough at the point I couldn't get hired anywhere just because no one was hiring. And so I actually opened a sublease in the North Fayetteville Walmart and for 8 months, ran my own mini practice out of that, which was, I lost money on the whole thing, but I learned a tremendous amount of lessons and got to kind of practice stuff there. So we were wildly busy at the time, but it was really fun. I mean, she's got an incredible mind for design. She's incredibly patient with me. And we found our own elements and strengths and we're very complimentary to one another. It was really a sweet, fun season.
That's awesome.
And in a season where I think most people would say is like a lot of folks are ready to get out of, and I don't know, it was invigorating for us to get to just take the risk and gamble
for sure.
Yeah, so it was incredibly good, and she worked amazingly well the first several years of the business. I mean, she has worked in every single role other than doctor, and even one of the frame lines accidentally sends all the shipments to Dr. Catherine Howell, which she's not. We were so kind of in sync that they got confused.
Yeah.
But she was my optician with no experience for 8 months and did amazing. I mean, she's just
that's incredible.
Yes,
cool.
And she picked every one of our frame lines that we carry and selected them. We went to conferences in New York and Vegas and Orlando and met with all these independent frame lines from around the world. And she was the one who vetted them and picked them and had this outside perspective and so many of the touches that we have. And for years, every frame that was on the shelf, she individually ordered each one, at nights and on the weekends. And she'd come in and survey all the lines and would organize trunk shows and do marketing. And it was awesome. It was so good.
Yeah,
and now she's in her best role of her life, which is full-time mom, and does very, very little with the business now, other than just bringing some happies to the folks, dropping off coffees or soft touch. She just redecorated all the tops of our shelves and kind of did a refresh at our 4-year mark.
So I'm going to go back to work today. Half a day.
She'd love to, but she loves our kids too much.
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's awesome. So it's really, really good.
Very good. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So for all people out there listening, you're trying to start a business with your lady, man, go for it. I think it seems like a fun experience.
It was. I mean, if y'all have got the right, if the marriage is right, which again, praise the Lord, ours was, it worked out well.
Whenever you had said that your wife had a lot of patience with you, I just thought of my lady.
I thought of Maritza too.
I thought of Emily, and I was like, it's definitely that way with me for sure.
We got some good ladies, they really, from what I know about Emily, I think she's funny, man. She's cool.
She's cool. She's very shy at first, but whenever you get to know her and she lets her personality out, she's a very fun person.
Godly woman's a blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're working or thinking about working with your wife, I think the Doc's got a good experience, and I mean, of course, he recommends it. But Doc, something we do on this podcast is we love Northwest Arkansas. We're big advocates for the area. So what are some things that you love about Northwest Arkansas? Restaurants, coffee shops, things to do?
I think I've touched on the coffee probably enough, but the selection, the local specialty roasters it's so fun. The cool cafes, the amazing designs that John and Andrea do. Have y'all been to Onyx at the Preserve yet?
Yes.
Holy cow.
That's
awesome.
Insane. The one it's Onyx at Walmart home campus. The campus.
Is it the new one?
The third one there.
Okay.
It's now the third Onyx on the home office.
My fiance sent me a picture of it. I think somebody had posted it. And it looks like Lord of the Rings.
It looks incredible. It's stunning. I don't know how to describe it. So things like that, right? The architecture, right? Ledger, the Crystal Bridges, the Whole Health Institute. The Compton, the design, the lighting. I mean, is just you'd have to go to New York or Chicago to see something that level, and even then, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, that's so true.
But all these crazy amenities, the bike park, the Bentonville, and the Michelin star chef level. All of these crazy amenities and stuff, and Rogers is popping up in the restaurants, but we're in a relatively small town. It's still southern for the most part. It's not as southern as you go even an hour south, and it changes, but it's got a lot of what I like about life in the South, right? It's gorgeous. The terrain is insane. The proximity to the Buffalo River and Kings River and on and on and on. We get all the seasons. I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know where else in the U.S. I'd want to live besides this area. I think it's so incredible. Again, the entrepreneurial energy that I told you about, you know, a lot of incredible, you know, churches that, you know, preach truth. And I mean, there's so many wonderful things here. And yes, the cost of living is a little high. Yes, the roads are, the traffic's getting crazy. But I mean, there are problems in every town you go to. Yeah. Every city.
Correct. 100%.
And you just decide which problems are more important to you and which are less. You know, the trade-offs here, I'm good with.
That's a good way of
I
putting
love it.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
if we could do without this crazy rise in ticks, I'd be better. But you know, otherwise,
don't buy. I don't want to get bit one of those.
I don't want to.
I love eating my steaks and burgers and red meat. Man, I can't do it.
I know, same. But otherwise, it's great.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I like it here. It's good.
Awesome,
give us just a quick. What's one of your favorite restaurants?
Sure.
You and your wife go. It's date night.
I'll say, where do I go for my birthday? Right.
Okay.
Marketplace Grill in Springdale. Right? I think I said this last time.
Yeah.
Marketplace Grill
awesome.
is without question the best dining establishment in all of Northwest Arkansas. Really? I don't care what you say. It's high-end casual though at the same time, right?
Casual.
The food is insane. It was my first restaurant job in college.
Okay.
I worked there for many months, saw every corner of the building, and it's still my favorite place to eat. So that tells you something, right?
That's
it is pretty good there.
It's so good.
I've not been.
Kids eat free in June. I mean, it's such a sweet deal.
I'm about to take my nephews.
Seriously. Yep. It's Sunday through Thursday.
That's awesome,
so
man.
I love Marketplace. You know, good brisket sandwich from Wright's is hard to beat at times.
100%. Yes.
Chicken curry burrito from Table Mesa is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, Tavola's Sunday brunch is pretty insane. Have y'all been to Parlay on 8th? You know, it used to be the Holler, closed for years. Reopened.
No, I have not.
Wonderful service, wonderful food. Everything is fried in beef tallow. So again, talking about trying to fix some of these health stuff, right? Like instead of the seed oils, you get the beef tallow. It's amazing. It's all locally sourced meats.
Amazing.
Delicious. Bella's Table up in Bella Vista is amazing.
Yes.
There's just so many good ones.
Good
you
desserts,
know, Flavors Indian Cuisine down on Rainbow Curve is incredible. I'm all over the place.
Your restaurants.
Trash Creamery. I mean, it has the best dairy-free ice cream in town. Is amazing. Unfortunately, my body is rejecting dairy, so I got to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great. We like that. Yeah, we appreciate the shout outs. We you know, to know more of the area, to see what these what our guests' favorites are is pretty cool. It's pretty good to know. Yeah.
And Thai Kitchen. Got to shout out Thai Kitchen down.
Thai Kitchen. Okay.
That's a staple.
That's good. Doc, so something we do as we're wrapping up here also is to connect our episodes, we our previous guests always leave a question for our next guest, right? So you'll have an opportunity to also leave a question. But our previous guest, Ben Green, he is a mental performance coach out in Fayetteville. He asked, what is one thing you are negotiating with yourself with, and if you were to stop negotiating with yourself, how would it affect your life, and how would it make it better?
What's something that I'm negotiating with myself? That's a tough one. I'm not really sure. I think there's always have a million ideas on how to innovate and improve the business, and it's everyday negotiating. Is it time to take the risk? Am I jumping the gun too soon? Or is this going to be something that pays off and I look back and think, oh gosh, I wish I'd made that earlier? And so
I see. It'd be something big or small.
Yeah. Right now it's whether or not I want to invest in bringing in red light therapy for the practice. So just expensive a panel. That's what I'm negotiating with right now.
Okay.
So, very cool.
Okay. Now it's your turn to leave a question.
Sure. What is one thing you're doing this week to be 1% better next week?
Ooh, love it. That's a good one.
I love it.
Okay. Well,
good question.
Doc, thank you again for joining us. You know, it's been an honor and a privilege to spend some time with you again.
Absolutely.
To hear your story again and to just have you on.
Thank you guys so much.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Is there anything before we head out? Is there anything you want to promote or say about your practice before we sign off?
Yep. See us at eyesonthesquare.com. We've got an online scheduler. If I can help you with anything, reach out. If you just want to chat, info@eyesonthesquare.com. Appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Cool.
Thank you guys so much.
Guys, take care, and we'll catch you on the next episode.